Hi, I'm Seth. I'm writing this note, bottling it, and then tossing it into the brook by my house. Writing helps me keep my sanity. Hopefully, somebody who still reads will pick it up and come help me. It all started a month ago. I was down in my basement office on my computer, watching old Mystery Science Theater 3000 reruns. That's when the phone rang next to me, but I didn't pay any attention to it. It was never for me. On the off occasion it was usually my brother, and half the time we were on the phone, my nephew would be trying to grab it and talk to me himself. My mom yelled downstairs that the phone was for me. Yeah, that's right. I live at home with my folks, sue me. Anyway, I picked up. Hello? I said, paying more attention to the antics of the robots on screen.
It has begun.
The voice was little more than a whimper. I didn't even recognize the voice. Excuse me? I asked, wondering who on earth was calling.
They've come. I don't have much time, Jeff. You told me to call you if what we did caused trouble.
Now a little worried, I said, I think you've got the wrong number. This is Seth, not Jeff.
Don't go outside!
The person then shrieked into the phone. Completely freaked out, I disconnected the call. It must have been some prank caller, but I wasn't amused. Rattled, I put the matter behind me. Much later, I finished watching videos and shut the lights off to head upstairs. It was pitch black, but I knew the way. The dark seemed a little more oppressive this time, though. I shrugged off the feeling and went upstairs. As I passed through the living room, I chanced to look out the window. There were people outside, on a walk or something. I checked my watch, and it said 3 a.m. That's weird, I muttered. I stumbled up to my upstairs room, and then drifted off to sleep. I was a fool that first night. If I had recognized what I'd seen, I would have saved myself the terror and just stepped outside. The next morning, the news was on. This was odd since my dad usually turned it to the sports channel before we went off to work. I didn't even glance at it as I threw on a tie and stumbled into the bathroom. An uneasy feeling crept into my gut as I did my morning routine. I usually had to fight for the bathroom space, but today, there wasn't a sound. I peeked out of the room and saw that the front door was open, but the glass storm door wasn't. There wasn't a sound. Looking outdoors, I saw the same people that I had seen the night before. I opened the door, and then immediately, their heads snapped towards me. I recoiled and leapt inside as quickly as I could, feeling something catch at my ankle as I did so. Their faces were fixed in expressionless gazes, their mouths slightly agape and dripping blood. I looked down and saw one right next to the porch, withdrawing its arm. It tried to grab me. With a dizzying feeling of horror, I recognized my little brother. Slamming the door, I locked it tight and stumbled back into the living room. I looked at the television. There was a report about a disease that was spreading south from Canada across the US. I shut it off, and then pointlessly called out to see if anybody else was in the house. No answer. So began my solitary existence. The news ran for a few days, before they were caught. Kept making the stupidest mistake, going home every night. The electricity has stayed running. I guess somebody left the switch on at the factory, or maybe it's just northern New England that's been overrun. I don't know. The internet's been out too, so that's annoying. While the news was running, they called them zombies, going back to that old standby. I guess it works. I mean, they don't do a whole lot, and they're definitely dead. They walk around until their legs rot out from under them, and then they crawl until they literally fall to pieces. While they've got legs, though, they're fast. Christ, are they fast. That's how they jumped my family, I suppose. And the police car that drove up to my house to see if there were any survivors. That wasn't fun to look at every morning. They overturned my car while chasing him, so I'm stuck. Cops to the rescue again. They didn't really need food, so they didn't finish eating the poor guy. But they dismembered him. That's why he couldn't get up to join them. I could see him, gnashing his teeth, fruitlessly though. For about a week now, a guy on the radio hopefully pointed out that they were falling to pieces, so all we need to do is just wait them out. Then he got impatient and went outdoors. Nobody's been on the radio for 2 weeks. I'm in trouble though. You see, my house has no food left. I can't wait for them to all fall down dead all over again. I've made a couple of expeditions to the general store. Lucky me that I have that sword collection upstairs. They're all too slow to catch me when I run, but there are so many that I sometimes panic. Last time they nearly got me. I broke the front door getting back in. Now the cold seeps in every night, and I can see one standing out on the porch right now, not 10 feet from where I'm writing this. You're safe indoors. Don't ask me why they abhor coming inside. Whatever the reason is, it's been my lifeline. Unfortunately, they do seem to know that there is someone alive in the house. Don't ask me how. This fellow on the front step doesn't even have eyes anymore. Maybe they can hear a heartbeat, or smell sweat, or blood. I spent a couple days naming them. Some of the faces I recognized, and I gave their old names to them. The same old gang's been hanging around here for the last few weeks, slowly dropping a number as they fall to pieces. They've never wandered off, though. There's 79 who were once men, and 63 who were once women out there. Once, just to see what would happen, I shot one in the head with our shotgun. You know, to see if the old shoot a zombie in the head and they die for good adage had any truth. So, I've actually got 79 who were once men, 62 who were once women, and 1 who was once a woman, but decided to keep standing even after losing about 80% of its head. I'm now down to 1 shotgun shell. So they wait, and I'm losing it. I talk to myself constantly, and I ate a stuffed animal last night. The cotton went down hard, but it felt good to have something in my stomach again. There are no fruit trees around, and anyway, it's November. Water has been getting scarcer, and the tap water stopped working 8 days ago. Lucky me, I'd filled up the bathtub and every bottle that I could find before it stopped. Oh, great. Now the lamp's getting brighter, and I hear a buzzing sound. I wonder if the power's going out. Well, that wasn't fun. Total loss of power for 4 days. You ever try sleeping in the dark, knowing that there are things outside that'll kill you and make you one of them the first chance that they get? Probably, since these things are everywhere, as far as I can tell. Oh, quick update. I mentioned Herschel, the guy that's on my porch. One of his legs fell off, so he's sitting down, sniffing at it. Thank God they lose all higher brain functions. I'm pretty sure that the soul isn't held captive in these things, and that this is all the disease, or whatever, trying to spread itself as far as it can in the population. Whoever you are, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the animals don't seem affected. It's a small comfort. Of course, they do die if they eat the flesh, but they don't get back up once they die. It's weird, huh? I'm getting hungry. And desperate. Maybe, just maybe, if I can load the old 22 and bag a squirrel from inside, how will I go and get it? On one hand, I'm a bit more optimistic that you're out there now, whoever you are. The power couldn't have come back if there weren't people out there working to restore order. I'm feeling lucky. Time to grab a sword and go drop this in the brook. Maybe this whole thing is almost over. On the other hand, if it is almost over, why are there so many fresh faces outside today?